Or was he? He was over here. Oh, a mystery gift. The other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival. So please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Oh, hang on. Right there. Ah, the remaining member of the Scions. Your friends and most of the Ilsabard contingent wait you within. Will you like me to see you through? Yeah.
By the 12.
Oh!
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
Right, give me a second. Okay, voice is good.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
It's Lucia!
Lucia.
Lucy!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
Together!
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
Dude, this is badass.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Oh.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is.
True.
But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Here, here.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Woo!
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the avatar of destruction.
Oh no.
With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
Mm-hmm.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Emma!
Lord Emanolaine!
Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Dude, that title's already been taken, you know. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea.
Lord Emmeline and Fandano should be having a dance-off.
Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Oh!
Out of my way!
Yes! That's fucking awesome!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
Oh.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlit, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
Yeah.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climates of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. I suppose he's had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay's improved since we last met. I have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies o'er our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades, and mayhap friends. I suspect a few of our comrades will be rather pleased to speak with you again, which is why I thought you would be the ideal candidate. In the meantime, I have a bone to pick with Thancred and Iriange regarding their wagging tongues. Lol. We've been part of joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there's already a palpable sense of camaraderie. This is extraordinary. To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer. With comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. So Lucia is in command. Regardless of her background, she's a temple knight through and through. Ere dare I say her Garlean roots are all the more reason for her to lead this mission. I have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups. Okay, yeah. Start here. Emma! Well, if I'd known what a social gathering this world would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems a perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sadu of the Steppe? Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. Oh boy. I cast my lot with the populares to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in a common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element. Dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I, too, would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands at the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it. Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save my countrymen, the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Amaric. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. I have led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you would provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. That a set of warding scales I spy? Not that I would know what they'll look like. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they are bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is it the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'll march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Zinus back in the grave where he belongs. It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azim Steppe with Serena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. It brings us back memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together. Good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, eh? Often has Father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo on the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsabard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. I'm here representing the Marauders Guild, and it's my job to keep the Smiths out of harm's way, mind you. With them hammers of theirs, they can put up a fair fight themselves. With a bit of luck, this will be over and done with before you know it. Maybe when this is all over, you could pay the Axemaster a visit. He still tells all the new recruits about the time he killed Kujata and avenged that boy's parents. I remember it all. Remember like it were yesterday. I hear you got something for us. Them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gil or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Aenzar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfier told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what a good pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever it needs doing. So let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Greetings, Lily. The time has come for us the Marines to show our valor upon the battlefield. All who see us will know our name and quake before our might. To victory, come hells or high water. Hang on, there might be extra. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon the sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. Yes? Your scales, sir? So these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside of the Twelveswood. The Elder Seed Seer, however, has granted me special permission. She has bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In so doing, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in the world. Or so she says. I say it is past time for our allies benefited from the power at a Seed Seer's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light under a bushel, and I intend to address that criticism. With so many people from so many places, I'm rather out of my element. Regardless, I am a Seed Seer, and I will endeavor to equip myself accordingly. Hey, Magnai. With the Mole, champions of the Nevdam, and the Dolfarl having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the step in their absence. I would have done so were it not for my step brothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this feral Dolfarl dog, at first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legends. Is that all he says? Yeah. He said, I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteer to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could dream to be. Talk to this one first. Once again, we find ourselves fighting on the same side. First Bolja, now Garlemald. It may seem strange I'd agreed to aid the Imperials after waging war against them for so long, but here I am. It's time we put the past behind us. We heard it could be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans! We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Ah, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I had done his words justice. Doma, like much of Ulthard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. He and Yagiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid, we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. I am glad to see you as well, Lily. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced, the world fell into ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied blackened silhouettes, and knew that at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. Do you have a warning skill for me too? Yeah. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Islabard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist's Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I'll leave the provisionings of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamegan quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. It's something of a constant refrain that we acquire warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking, fur color notwithstanding. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold are commonly sold in the Uldan markets, though they are dubious providence in efficacy. 'Tis said, however, that in recent days the Alchemist Guild hath produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievements of their Thandarian counterparts did spur them to action, that they not be put to shame. Thavnarian. This coat is quite warm, but it has something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open, and we can't go starting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. If you're of anything you still need to take care of, you'd better see to it now. Since my revival, I've been lax and expanded my limited wardrobe. Think we have time for a quick trip back to Old Charlian? I recall a rather fetching coat. Preparations? I've got my armor and my lance. What more could I need? This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. Needn't worry about Urianja and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. I've only had time to find something to my liking. Hark! Is that the cry of scions in need of a tailor? In need of a tailor, I hear. I'm trying too hard. Tataru. But how? I have my ways. Oh, yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsabard without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Now, you will wear these garments I've made for you, whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? I did have one other thing to share. Argmas and Bluemweda have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Earzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlian. Oh, why not? You can keep Krell company at the Baldessian Annex. Yes, would love to have you there. And I heard Artemis and Bluemweda did a fine job carrying on our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we have nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world. If anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlian. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Golemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. I suppose I should try to make something out of this. I need to fit the character. Otherwise, Tataru will worry. Let's see what I can make of this. Let's see. Okay, what should I replace? This, okay. Where's the woolies? Okay. Will do. Something warm. Kind of matches this a little bit. Okay. Looks okay. No. Okay. See how it looks. Alright, that'll have to do. That'll have to do. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you are ready to depart, I will ready the engines. Okay. Let's go.
Ilsabard, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly? On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius, the winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald. The very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Sure thing. Meanwhile, at the Imperial Supply Depot. Oh, look at you, Thancred.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right, once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
Oh! Damage taken. Okay. Assuming there is nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence the mission as soon as you are ready. Okay. Let's try this.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Shit. Wait, 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 wait. Go, 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 go. Oh, fuck. Go, 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 go.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Gonna have to kill that thing. Go. Damn it. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, good. No, 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 no. Yep, 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 yep. Shit, shit, shit.
Seven hells.
Shit, 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 shit. Gonna have to kill that.
Spotted.
Can't avoid this. Damn. Okay. That wasn't too bad.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrade?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
Boom. A few moments later, at the rear of the Islabard contingent's supply caravan,
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but... Wait! Something's coming!
I guess we fight.
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
He.
Fighters! Protect the others! A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here! A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
Oh, this way.
We're the only ones still struggling. Time we put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good scrap. You lot all right back there?
We're fine. I'm ready for more.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Meanwhile, on the front line. Sleep.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
Oh!
That's for Gilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them!
Here I am!
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
I heard the call, and so I'm here.
There's no stopping us now. Come on. Let's show them what we're made of.
We have them now! Forward!
Right! Let them have it!
As a raging bull!
Pippin? Nice, man. Oh boy.
That's her! Agilia!
I got her.
Do not fall behind!
I could do with some healing. Thank you. Let me bring her back over here, and we're good to go.
Kneel or die! Tremble before the sun!
May your screams fill the air!
Oh. We got her. Got her. Man, that was intense.
A worthy adversary. Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu Hatun.
Magnite, what was that all about?
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan?
We're all good over there.
Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Woo!
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. 800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kovosi, after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated.
Ooh.
The chosen, forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Garlemald, we're here.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Oh, I gotta load everything. I see Gray has taken to warmer clothing too. There we go. Neat. Shouldn't be long before we have half a decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working in conditions like these. In spite of the obstacles we've faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for a purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Stola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of camp? Alice and I will meet you there. Yeah, will do. A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head has cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis a monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying, aether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For our blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Gwaha? Oh, look at you. You look dashing in that coat there. You'll be pleased to know most of the temperate have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Aye, although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting. I will make my way there. So much text. Virgilia is in our care, along with the rest of the tempered. Glory to Garlemald, glory to Garlemald, they still whisper in their sleep, even as they writhe in pain. Raban taught me a lot about military strategy during the exercises in the fringes, coordinating units with wildly different capabilities, surveying and securing hostile terrain, that sort of thing. Now I have the chance to put his teachings into practice. Pippin! We've asked the Ironworks members and some of our other comrades to stay with the airships. In the event we are discovered, we must be ready to move them swiftly to a safer location. The tempered soldiers are sleeping soundly while they undergo treatment. There are too many to attend at once, but I and the other healers will see to all eventually. Hell's bells, this place is bloody freezing. Rather be tied to the topmast in a storm than suffer this cold any longer. Anyone what can spare a swig of rum? That'll sort me right out. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers in their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with cerulean heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinists will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmascian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
If there are any survivors, we will surely find them.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
There's this odd perception that Ishgardians have lived their whole lives in the snow, but it really wasn't that bad before the calamity. And afterwards, well, I was rarely more than a few paces from a raging fire. This dreadful place, on the other hand, is nothing but cold, cold, cold. And it's my understanding that Elsabard has always been this way. Gods, can you imagine? I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. I don't see anybody else. Okay. Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tataru's clothing, I dread to think how we'll fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'll be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the El Eblan Rime for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? It'll take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just a spot to begin our search. Okay. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Yak. The few buildings I can't see don't appear to be residences. They may still warrant investigation, though. I'm surprised by how many wild beasts there are roaming about this place. Perhaps now that the soldiers have gone, they're free to wander and forage as they please. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing? Or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after either way. Is that an aether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo! What do I see o'er yon hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind that tree. Looks like she's running away from something. Though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one, not that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. Unless we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Thank you, Emmeline. Why are you still here? If you dally any longer, you'll miss your chance to play the hero. Fine. Now, let's see. Footprints. Aha. A trail of fresh footprints lead east. These footprints appear to be the same as those he saw previously, and they lead towards the building. According to the label here, this place was used by those involved with extracting ceruleum. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right by this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? As Emanelian said, it's highly unlikely she was running away from us. Even so, we mustn't do anything to startle her. For all she knows, we're soldiers of an invading army, so we need to be careful not to give the wrong impression. Oh. Huh? The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safe to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed. Make use of cover such as rocks to approach her without being seen. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by returning to the designated location. Damn it. That's a tricky one. I wonder. Let me try something. Okay, that doesn't work. My idea was to get close enough to her to actually talk to her, but I think I have to go through the whole thing. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Phew, still in one piece. Who are you? Stay back! This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Please, we just want to talk. I'm Alphonal. This is my sister, Alice, and her good friend, Lily. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all of this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Tel'Auroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Tel'Auroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? Oh, my name's Licinia. As far as how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question. Ever since that night, and the roar. That terrible roar. And then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran, past friends, people I've known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. The roar. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's Spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was. But now me and a few others are, borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe. I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help, can you? Of course, whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'll tell the others I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Lucina says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'll be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put firewood and gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under that gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the boyer. Yes. Yes, do as you will. Hmm. Eee. Huh. Doink. Huh. What they need most is a decent meal. We've food back at the camp, but there's a distance to consider. All's well, all's well, with food in my belly and a song in my heart. Early signs of frostbite. This must be treated quickly. I can feel my fingers again. Eee. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Hey, let me talk to her again. Before the Civil War, I was a student. The others were officials of some sort, I think. Even after all this time together, we hardly know the first thing about each other. What I do know is this. We're Garleans. When times are hard, we stick together, no matter what. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds. It'll take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Himalayan tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? Mm-hmm. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Warming tincture? Tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food protection, water purification, the magic tech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run out for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulean Engines is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. All is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poisoned by any chance? Ha! 'Twas a joke, a joke! Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Ah, if I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep. So said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the dishevelled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not by conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. What do you want? This'll help. A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. This? It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it? We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular, made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amonis, it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music, being played over and over again. Home Beyond the Horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amonis. We may have found an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. What's that? And one for you. So this is what you gave the others? Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Sure, shoot. Are you a part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Virgilius troops heading towards the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Lucina? Where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby almasty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people, too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a legatus, then surely a few beasts wouldn't pose a threat. If you have a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you should head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'll have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then ceruleum you shall have. Thank you so much. To reach Tapper's Den, you have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. I'll be back. Is this the lake? Who goes there? How did you find us? What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, never had found us. Those stuck-up arseholes. I thought they could come waltzing here and they're demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your name, Sellsword. If they think they'll give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Coming. Tried to reason with you. There you are. Just after you left, Lucina asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must let slip that I've a little experience in transporting bales of ceruleum. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. Who are you? What happened to the guards? Earzians and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance and put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Garabania, Anzia, Bolja, Dalmasca, to name a few. Some dragged here against their will. Other fed bollocks about a better life. All put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of Anne, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. But the only thing that escaped more or less unscathed is surely engines. Still sustain us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ha! Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins, will take enough power our heaters. Will take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it's helped save out the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent that we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free? To go? Go where? Even if we manage to get back to our homelands, there'll be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by. Even if Garlemald, as we knew it, is gone for good. Gone for good. If you're wondering why we'd post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees. And I don't mean the ones that Victor spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons and won't take no for an answer. As for the 2 guards you met in the way, I'll tell them what we've discussed. Once they've recovered from the beating you gave them. Come to think of it, maybe we should ask your contingent to lend some bandages and healing balm. Regardless of what the Isbard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed by the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there will be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Lucina's got her little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Lucina and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'll be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Lucina at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange. But I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Lucina would keep her sister a secret from us. Well, we can ask about that after we've delivered the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Ba 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 ba. I need to kill these. Good. Ow. Okay. It isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphonal would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while I search outside. They can't have gone far. The radio's gone. Alphonal? Oh. Damn it all. Alphonal, what happened? They asked me to help carry supplies. But when I followed them back here, they attacked me, caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are, waiting in the wings for us to show weakness. Then in you swoop. Here to help? What rot! All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put yourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Lucina was hiding her sick sister inside the house. Damn. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'll never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of tinkling glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, tainted with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee. Keep their purity intact. then be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. Damn it. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucina and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. Hang on, what does he have to say? I will follow as soon as I can. After I've given them some basic treatment, I'll take the men inside the house and use a light sleeping enchantment to help them rest, and ensure that they don't cause any more trouble. I'm sorry, but there's something I must do. Two sets of fresh footprints. A young woman, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route as to not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for our ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates it has been here for some time, and is unlikely to have any connection to Lucina or her sister. That's a frosty-ass tree. Oh, that's a level 90. I'm keeping away from that. Seeing nothing here. The blood staining in the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. No. No. 2 bodies are already cold. Fuck!
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand, so I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
There must have been something we could have done. But what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? If only we'd had a chance to talk things over. But it's too late now. Too late by far. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more trouble. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do now is to make our report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Man. Can I climb this? Yep. We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapper's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since your return. Is there not I might do to be of assistance? Is something the matter? The twins look out of sorts, and you too seem a bit off. Treatment of the tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there is anything to report, you will be sure to know, though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. Alice and Alphonse tell me they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account?
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events of the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Zenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
Huh.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
Tower of Babel.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you.
Serena?
A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I'm going with you.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
We shall.
Couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Yeah, we're good. Oops. The lowly task of keeping watching over provisions would not normally befit the son. But these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by right theirs. Said your farewells, have you? I know. This won't bring back Lucina or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up, every time. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat. Reward him for his boldness. Julius Pira Norbanus. It is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the 1st Legion, which has a particular fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to approach them with caution. They are resilient in the face of hardship, you as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard. I worry we're not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking, but what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and to conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you are gone too long. May the fairy watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I'll explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Where do you think their headquarters are? I assume there are a few others beside him and this commander he mentioned. We will do only as instructed, after all. This is what we have been striving for ever since we arrived. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead. I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alisay, and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Lily. Lily. Where have I heard that before? No matter. Alphino and Alisay will watch the road ahead, while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run, towards the station. Even think about going for your weapons. The deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Ready to make a dash for the station? Yeah. This is it. The first stop, that is. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept your side of the bargain, we can carry on. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close. No wandering off, understood? Hang on. I wonder what sorts of conditions Julius and his comrades are living in, if they have any sense. They've picked somewhere like Victor Spoils to take shelter. We're getting closer to the Imperial Palace, if we can still call it that. It truly is a terrifying sight to behold. Oh! Mick, thank you for that raid. How's it going? Hey, Makoto. As you can see, we're playing Final Fantasy XIV and doing the good old Endwalker content. If you're uncomfortable with spoilers, I will suggest you don't watch anymore, but if you don't care, feel free to stay along. Oh. It disconnected, oh no. Oh, you disconnected while doing MSQ roulette? That sucks, man. I'm sorry. From here, we'll be heading northeast. Keep to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes is unseen as anything but. Keep up weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen? Aye, they spare their own but slaughter as the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Alright, Mick, see you later. Thanks for the wade. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They are beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. On we go. Jotun! Might as well. There we go. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. I have to stop and talk to LSA and Alphino, see what they think. He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Mia! Hi, sweetie. I got a cat. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try again to convince Julius that the tempered can be saved. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Twain. There it is. Such a transformation is likely irreversible. To think they were once ordinary people. Look at what they have become. Would you still stand here and claim that they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. It's below us. Though I wish there was another way, I thank you for keeping us from harm. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. This is Terratium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Go on, down the stairs like I told you. Or is this your first time into an underground station? They're all over Garlemald, even during severe blizzards. We could use them for travel from one end of the city to another, back when they were still in operation, that is. Down into the subway. Subway! She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. I had no idea they had such expansive structures built underground. Wow. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold, much like Victor's spoils. It must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive, over there. Damn it. Now comes the true test. He certainly looks like the part. He looks really familiar. Wait, I know this from the intro.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Vankina, Legatus of the First Legion.
Okay.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. It was only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost, all because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter.
Well then.
You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop! Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
Just shows how much you know about the Warrior of Light.
You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll continue a little bit longer. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did, and if you do try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean, or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats in the lake, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish. Gosh. Even outside the camp, I know full well I couldn't stop if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests. Blah, blah. So cold. This young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll swipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh! Damn. Tore the sutures. Of all the times, The worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, what would be the end of you? Virgila's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier I name alone. I'll cut you down where you stand if I could. Murderer. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that Aether site. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the Aether site's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. It's you, Lily Dragoneer. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until my countrymen return, until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Gosh, the hate. I don't think there's anything here. So cold, and probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we'd brought some food with us. Perhaps I could use a little magic too. No, I mustn't. Gosh, this is so frustrating. They're really cold. Oh, the radio, of course. This radio is the same model as the one used at Victor Spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Did you learn of anything of note? That your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. They do need food. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Mia? What's the matter? Come here. Okay. Come on. Oh, here. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'll need to persuade Julius first. Well, seen enough? Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum we need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere. There's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, the loyal servants of the Telephoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its palace. We've identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions, to prepare for a combined assault on the Telephoroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we'll bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the depth of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands may make light work. You're a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly.